Kim Tate and Emmerdale's darkest Christmas. When power falls before loneliness, Emmerdale has always been a land of rich emotions, where the fates of its inhabitants are woven together by sadness, love, betrayal, and redemption. But amidst all those stories, Kim Tate's Christmas this year is tinged with a particularly chilling cold. Cold in the truest sense of home farm, but even colder in her heart, where old wounds never heal. This article will delve into Kim Tate's psychological state, analyzing each development in that dark Christmas story, and invite you, the viewers who have been attached to Emmerdale, to look back at how Kim built her cage of loneliness around herself. Because ultimately, Kim Tate's tragedy is not just a television plot, but a reflection of something many of us have experienced: loneliness even at the height of power. A turbulent year and Christmas lights that never shine. Let's start with a fact anyone who watches Emmerdale knows well: this year hasn't been easy for anyone. But Kim Tate, considered the strongest woman in the Dales, has had an even more extraordinary journey. It seems the events of the year have pushed her further and further away from her community, family, and those she once trusted. Ironically, Kim isn't a victim of others. Much of her pain stems from her own stubbornness, her lack of trust, and the invisible walls she has built to protect herself. And viewers, whether they love or hate Kim, can see that clearly. Do you feel that way? Sometimes, we hurt ourselves by rejecting the care of others, simply because we're afraid of being hurt again. Christmas in Emmerdale is always a time for momentous stories. But this time, the Christmas lights aren't lit, they only highlight the darkness in Kim Tate's soul. Kim Tate, the strongest yet loneliest woman in Emmerdale. Kim is the kind of character audiences both admire and tire of. She's intelligent, in control, and ruthlessly strong when necessary. But the stronger she is, the lonelier she becomes. It's as if power is a brilliant light that also casts a huge shadow behind it. This Christmas, that shadow is bigger than ever. Kim's usual coldness is no longer a mask. Now it's an iron armor locking away all her inner emotions. She doesn't want anyone to see her weakness. She doesn't want anyone to know she's afraid. And so, she isolates herself from everyone. But, as a familiar paradox, the more she tried to avoid being hurt, the more deeply she hurt herself, canceling Christmas dinner, the opening moment of tragedy. In many families, Christmas dinner is more than just a meal. It's a reunion, an opportunity for forgiveness, for bonding. But Kim cancelled it. The act wasn't loud. Not harsh, but painful. When Kim texted to cancel dinner, it wasn't just an announcement. It was a declaration. I'm not ready to open up. I don't want anyone in my life right now. Doesn't that scene ache? Instead of building a bridge, Kim destroyed it. Instead of finding her way back to her family, she chose to stand alone on the cold home farm. Joe and his desperate attempt at reconciliation. Joe, who always tried to use gentleness to counter Kim's ferocity, visited her hoping to mend their fractured relationship. He wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. But he was honest. And Kim rejected him. Rejected by silence, by slamming the door with a cold stare. Rejected with a coldness only Kim could bring. The moment the door closed was also the moment the audience heard the sound of Kim locking her emotions once again, the fall at home farm, when power was stripped away in an instant. Then Kim fell. A simple fall, yet full of meaning. In that moment, all the power, all the autonomy Kim still held, vanished. She became a middle-aged woman, in pain, lying on the cold stone floor, utterly alone. Her pride forced her to reluctantly call for help. And Lydia appeared. Lydia, a small light in Kim's darkness. Lydia wasn't someone Kim liked. Not someone Kim trusted. And certainly not someone Kim wanted to see vulnerable in front of. Yet Lydia stayed. Kim tried to push her away. Speak coldly. Reject her concern. But Lydia stood there, calm, steadfast, gentle in a way only Lydia could. And in my eyes, and perhaps yours too, this is one of the most subtle segments of the week, Because Lydia didn't stay out of obligation, she stayed out of kindness. For a loyalty Kim never deserved. And that's what it was.